So, I always think it's amusing to do certain things like these, like reading a story out of a book, such as this, that requires some effort and some, I'd say, dedication and subliminal messaging and maybe some erotic behavior. Oh, and some lightning, thunder noise. Yeah, you guys know the drill. So far, it's been a slow, steady climb to the top when it comes to these. I know many people don't really watch this, but I just like doing it because it's like on the side, and it kind of goes a little bit beyond the current wavelength of gaming and stuff. And I really love the literature and reading books, so you know, I can dig it. And like you guys are seeing my keep right now, and the water bottles over there. Boop. I missed like 4 of them. And, you know, I got my drum set over my left shoulder. Bam. And you guys kind of got to hear a little bit with, you know, your ears bleeding. But, you know, I don't have professional equipment for that type of recording because you need like a microphone for it. Anyway, so, yes, Grimm Stories is a good way for me to kind of step out of the boundary, or step over the boundary. And kind of testing myself, like while being on the spot and stuff, and reading this, all the, you know, thinking of skits and all this stuff for you guys. So I hope you enjoy the key or the piano theme that's playing right now. That's actually me. So today we're gonna read. Hold on, let me get to it before the song ends. Oh God, knocked over a bottle. Today we're gonna read the Old Hildebrand. Once upon a time lived a peasant and his wife, and the parson of the village had a fancy for the wife, and had wished for a long while to spend a whole day happily with her. The peasant woman, too, was quite willing. One day, therefore, he said to the woman, "Listen, my dear friend, I have now thought of a way by which we can for once spend a whole day happily together. I'll tell you what, on Wednesday you must take to your bed and tell your husband you are ill, and if you only complain and act being ill properly, and go on doing so until Sunday when I have to preach, I will then say in my sermon that whoever has at home a sick child, a sick husband, a sick wife, a sick father, a sick mother, a sick brother, or whoever else it may be, and makes a pilgrimage to the Goccarelli Hill in Italy, where you can get a peck of laurel leaves for a krauser. The sick child, the sick husband, the sick wife, the sick father, or the sick mother, the sick sister, or whoever else it may be, will be restored to health immediately." "I will manage it," said the woman promptly. Now therefore on Wednesday the peasant woman took to her bed and complained and lamented as agreed on, and her husband did everything for her that he could think of, but nothing did her any good. And when Sunday came, the woman said, "I feel as ill as if I were going to die at once, but there is one thing I should like to do before my end. I should like to hear the parson's sermon that he is going to preach today." On that the peasant said, "Oh, my child, do not do it. Thou mightest make thyself worse if thou wert to get up. Look, I will go to the sermon and will attend to it very carefully, and will tell thee everything the parson says." "Well," said the woman, "go, then, and pay great attention, and repeat to me all that thou hearest." So the peasant went to the sermon, and the parson began to preach and said, "If anyone had at home a sick child, a sick husband, a sick wife, a sick father, a sick mother, a sick sister, brother, or anyone else, would make a pilgrimage to the great Goccarelli Hill in Italy, where a peck of laurel leaves costs a krauser, the sick child, the sick husband, sick wife, sick father, sick mother, sick sister, brother, or whoever else it might be, would be restored to health instantly, and whoever wished to undertake the journey was to go to him after the service was over, and he would give him the sack for the laurel leaves and the krauser." Then no one was more rejoiced than the peasant, and after service was over he went at once to the parson, who gave him the bag for the laurel leaves and the krauser. After that he went home, and even at the house door he cried, "Hurrah, dear wife! It is now almost the same thing as if thou wert well. The parson has preached today that whoever had at home a sick child, a sick husband, a sick wife, a sick father, a sick mother, a sick sister, brother, whoever it might be,
and would make a pilgrimage to the great Gockerly Hill in Italy, where a peck of laurel leaves cost the carouser, the sick child, sick husband, sick wife, sick father, sick mother, sick sister, or whoever else it was, would be cured immediately. And now I have already got the bag and the carouser from the parson, and will at once begin my journey, so that how as mayest get well the faster.
And thereupon he went away. He was, however, hardly gone before the woman got up, and the parson was there directly. But now we will leave these two for a while and follow the peasant, who walked on quickly without stopping, in order to get the sooner to the Gockerly Hill, and on his way he met his gossip. His gossip was an egg merchant, and was just coming from the merchant, where he had sold his eggs. "May you be blessed," said the gossip. "Where are you off to so fast?"
"To all eternity, my friend," said the peasant. "My wife is ill, and I have been today to hear the parson's sermon. And he preached that if anyone had in his house a sick child, a sick husband, a sick wife, a sick father, a sick mother, a sick sister, brother, or anyone else, and made a pilgrimage to the Gockerly Hill in Italy, where a peck of laurel leaves cost the carouser, the sick child, the sick husband, the sick wife, the sick father, the sick mother, the sick sister, brother, whoever else it was, would be cured immediately. And I have got the bag for the laurel leaves and the carouser from the parson, and I am beginning my pilgrimage."
"Are you then stupid enough to believe such a thing as that? Do you know what it means? The parson wants to spend a whole day alone with your wife in peace, so he has given you this job to get you out of the way."
"My word," said the peasant. "How'd I like to know if that's true?"
"Come then," said the gossip. "I'll tell you what to do. Get into my egg basket and I will carry you home. Then you will see for yourself." So that was settled, and the gossip put the peasant in his egg basket and carried him home. When they got to the house, hurrah! But all was going merry there. The woman had already nearly everything killed that was in the farmyard, and had made pancakes, and the parson was there and had brought his fiddle with him. The gossip knocked at the door, and the woman asked who was there. "It is I, gossip," said the egg merchant. "Give me shelter this night. I have not sold my eggs at the market, so I have to carry them home again. And they are so heavy that I shall never be able to do it, for it is dark already." "Indeed, my friend," said the woman, "thou comest at a very inconvenient time for me, but thou art here can't be helped. Come in and take a seat there on the bench by my stove." Then she placed the gossip in the basket, which he carried on his back on the bench by the stove. For as merry as possible, at length the parson said, "This is my old friend. Thou canst sing beautifully. Canst sing something for me?" "Oh," said the woman, "I cannot sing now. In my young days, indeed, I could sing well enough, but that's all over now." "Come," said the parson once more, "do sing some little song." On that the woman began and sang, "I've sent my husband away from me to the Gockerly Hill in Italy." Thereupon the parson sang, "I wish 'twas a year before he come back. I never ask him for the laurel leaf sack. Hallelujah." Then the gossip who was in the background began to sing, but I ought to tell you the peasant was called Hildebrand, so the gossip sang, "What art thou doing, my Hildebrand dear, there on the bench by the stove so near? Hallelujah." And then the peasant sang from the basket, "All singing I ever shall hate from this day." And he got out of the basket and cudgeled the parson out of the house. I think I am getting worse at reading this. Actually, I literally got up about half an hour ago, so this is what I get. So, that was the Hildebrand. That fucker got what he asked for. Okay, so I gotta get, I'm getting like all itchy and enjoy this key tune. Oh my god, this is gonna be good. We're gonna play a key tune while I'm itching. Alright, hit it.